Good evening and welcome to the news on Operatune TV. I am Miriam, okay? First, the headlines. Federal government to review strategy for countering violent extremism. Rev 6 road expansion flyovers on Lokoja-Lagos Expressway. Hamas to free all hostages at once in phase 2. Lookman replies Atalanta coach over criticism and disrespect. Now the news in details. The National Coordinator of the Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor, Major General Adamu Laka, has revealed plans of the federal government to review Nigeria's policy framework and national action plan for preventing and countering violent extremism to enhance its effectiveness and sustainability. The meeting, which was held to review the existing framework adopted in 2017, is aimed at offering opportunity to integrate the best practices into a revised framework that is more resilient, impactful, and sustainable. Adding that the review process would allow for the integration of best practices into a revised framework that is more resilient and impactful. Speaking at the meeting, Laka stressed the need to document and institutionalize the success stories from various PCVE projects, programs, and initiatives. He notes that Nigeria has made significant strides in implementing various PCVE programs and initiatives with the adoption of the PFNAP in 2017. It further reveals that our multi-sectoral, all-of-government and all-of-society approach has enabled collaboration between government, civil society, and international partners, leading to impactful interventions at the national, state, and subnational levels. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has urged the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Works to expedite work on the Lokoja-Benin-Lagos Expressway to prevent frequent accidents that often result in loss of lives and injuries. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved during the plenary by Suleiman Aguye, the member representing Lokoja-Kogi Federal Constituency. Supporting the motion, the All Progressives Congress lawmaker laments that in 2025 alone, over 10 accidents had occurred on the Lokoja-Natako-Felele Expressway, leading to tragic and avoidable loss of lives, particularly among students. The lawmaker attributes the frequent accidents to speeding and reckless driving by truck and tanker drivers, warning that failure to address the situation could lead to further loss of innocent lives. Thereby emphasizes the urgent need for a bypass, a flyover bridge, and road expansion as key measures to mitigate future accidents along the highway, 1 kilometer stretch of the highway. In another development, the Senate has summoned intelligence chiefs to investigate allegations made by United States Congressman Perry Scott that the United States Agency for International Development has been funding terrorist organizations, including Boko Haram. The resolution followed an order to urgent national security raised under Order 41 by Senator Mohammed Undume, representing Borno South Senatorial District. Undume urged the Senate to take the revelation seriously, given the devastation caused by terrorists, particularly Boko Haram. He emphasized that a thorough investigation would end speculation about how non-state actors have managed to survive over the years. Meanwhile, the heads of security and intelligence agencies summoned by the Senate includes the National Intelligence Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services, and the National Security Advisor. Senate President Godswill Akpabio endorsed the resolution but stressed that security matters are best handled behind closed doors. He noted that intelligence chiefs would provide the Senate with a clear perspective. In another development, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says stage National Association of the Institute for Security Studies. Visa denial should no longer his displeasure over the matter. The National Security Advisor, Nuri Bado, describes the act as both disrespectful and painful, and that the government should no longer give them much relevance, dismissing speculations that the armed forces were not invited for the Invictus Games. Musa clarified that the military was officially invited and all necessary protocols were followed. He explains that the application process involved key government officials, including ministers and the National Security Advisor, Nuri Bado, who had previously criticized the visa denial. Away from that, Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Blessing Agbebako, has announced the dismissal of all political appointees attached to his members with immediate effect. Agbebako made the announcement during a plenary session in Benin, stating that the decision was unanimously agreed upon by all 24 members of the House, adding that the dismissed appointees would receive their February salaries. He listed the affected appointees as special advisors, senior special advisors, and others. The Speaker explained that the appointees were initially appointed by House members upon the inauguration of the 8th Assembly in June 2023, adding that the decision will not affect payment of their salaries. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll bring you stories from the foreign scene. Welcome back. Earlier today, Hamas signals its willingness to free all remaining hostages held in Gaza in a single swap during the next phase of the ongoing ceasefire agreement. Israel and Hamas are currently in the process of implementing phase 1 of the fragile Gaza truce, which took effect on January 19th, despite accusations of violations on both sides. Israel's foreign minister says talks will begin in the second phase, which is expected to lay out a more permanent end to the war. Meanwhile, senior Hamas official Tahir al-Lulu disclosed that mediators have been informed of Hamas' readiness to release all hostages in one batch during the second phase of the agreement, rather than in stages as in the current phase that they are experiencing. Now on sports. Atalanta forward Ademola Lookman has hit back at manager Gian Piero Gasperini, describing his public criticism after a missed penalty as deeply disrespectful. Lookman had failed to convert from the spot in Atalanta's 3-1 UEFA Champions League defeat against Club Brugge on Tuesday. He came under heavy fire from Gasperini, who tagged him as the worst penalty taker. However, in a strongly worded statement earlier today, the Nigerian international expressed disappointment for being singled out by the Italian manager for criticism. Being singled out in the manner, he says he has not only been hurt but feels deeply disrespected, not least because of the immense hard work and commitment he has put into work. Moving forward, Manchester United pays a total of 14.5 million euro, approximately $18.3 million, to dismiss manager Eric Ten Hag, sporting director Dan Ashworth, and other football staff, according to the club's latest financial accounts. United, the 20-time English champions, currently sit a lowly 15th in the Premier League, following Sunday's 1-0 defeat to Tottenham, with only West Ham and Wolves separating them from the relegation zone. Hopes for an upturn in results under new manager Ruben Amorim have failed to materialize since the Portuguese coach replaced Ten Hag, who was sacked in October, just 116 days after United triggered a clause to extend his contract until 2026. The costly decision made by minority owner Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos Group was further compounded by the rapid departure of Ashworth. The former Newcastle sporting director officially joined United on 1st July following protracted negotiations, only to leave on December 8th. The financial impact of these decisions was revealed in United's accounts for the quarter ending 31 December, listed under exceptional items. And from the world of entertainment, I have stories about veteran actor Dele Odule